We're one type.
Oh, say what I actually do. Okay.
One type.
Ella, Lola Bell, Olivia, Finley.
What one? What?
When we're one type.
And this is a lyric breakdown.
Hi, my name's Ella. I'm from the band One Type.
And I'm Finley, and I'm also from the band One Type.
So I'm Ladybell.
I'm Liv, and we're from One Type.
My name is Ducal. I'm a spoken word artist and I live with type 1 diabetes, and I'm very blessed to be a part of this amazing song called Rise Up with the band One Type, who absolutely smashed it.
We're going to be explaining the song Rise Up. So in the first verse, it talks a lot about how diabetes and how we figure out that we've got it. So it lists thirsty, tired and getting thin, which are all symptoms of getting diabetes. And you're feeling the fear, so you can feel like it becoming a burden in your life.
First coming to school when there's many questions and you don't really know much about it yourself, and then everyone's just ramming you with questions.
Didn't know type 1 from 2. So obviously there's 2 types of diabetes and everyone gets very confused between the 2 types, and just learning the differences really is really important.
And it also talks about, did I do something wrong? Because sometimes you can really feel like you did something, but really it's not something that we can control.
And it's quite a deep thing, because like you're thinking, is this my fault? Did I put myself through this? And it's those of things you're thinking to yourself, why did I deserve this? Why did I get this? Which is like the main things you think about when you're first getting diagnosed. When you first get diagnosed, you feel like there's no one else in the world that's the same as you. But you slowly see people walking down the street with a pump or a Dexcom or a Libra, and you're like, hey, they're like me. So you're slowly realizing, you know, you're part of this community and there's people that will relate to you. And it says, with friends, I can balance the highs and lows. So with the support of friends, they can maybe help you check your levels, or, you know, give you some sugar when you need it. And it's just how much like people without even type 1 can help you.
We rise up together is the first words on the chorus, and that's just so true, and it's my favourite line of the whole song, because we rise together and everyone's together and supported in the community.
We're in this together. We are. It's something collaborative. We've all got something. We all have different symptoms. We all take different amounts of insulin. We've all got different time blocks, but it all undergoes the same disease.
It also explains in through every challenge I know you'll understand. So it just really makes you feel like you're not alone in the community, and like everyone can understand you as you start to understand as well.
So many roles I have to play. I save my life every day. When you've got diabetes, there's so many different things you need to do. You need to be a nurse, a cook, a mathematician, so many different roles, and it's to save your life, and you do that all day, every day.
Pump on my arm might never change. Every single diabetic uses different things to monitor themselves. I've got a Libra on, and then some of the other girls have got pumps on. Some people do finger prick tests. Some people work out their carbs and do their insulin manually. It talks about how it will never change. It's a part of us for however long we have it.
Things change all the time, but having a pump and Dexcom, so I've got a Dexcom here, they might never change, but they might as well. As technology gets better and better, things will always change.
Always try to stay in range, because I'm here to stay. Because just trying to stay in range can be like really complicated sometimes. You never know what could happen, but being here to stay is like a really positive thing about it, because like you just feel like, yeah, I can actually do this.
Sometimes we fall before we rise. Imbalances, challenges, big and small in our lives. So I feel like when I got diagnosed, it was like a bit of a trip, a bit of a hurdle, a bit of a challenge. And I definitely had to hit the floor and fall before I could then learn about my condition and be able to control it and manage it. And not only that, but feel good about it and then rise. So that's what that first section's about. And imbalances in terms of, obviously my blood glucose is imbalanced, trying to balance it with insulin and carbohydrates. And then I guess imbalances also represents maybe the mental side of it, mental health side of, you know, such a diagnosis, and those challenges that come with it. Some days are tough as we crawl towards the light, but we manage every day, stand tall in this fight. I've been living with type 1 diabetes for about 8 years now, and there's still some days which are quite challenging and quite tough. You never know, how it's going to affect you. You could do everything right one day and it all be, and your levels pretty much be between that 4 and 7. But you could also do everything right one day and your levels be too high, or you have hypos because of other factors like stress, lack of sleep, maybe you're a little bit ill, the sun's heat, for example. It's really complex and there are a lot of things that go into type 1 diabetes. So that's what those sort of lines try to cover, that sometimes they're tough, but we crawl towards the light. So we started off falling, now we're on our knees and we're crawling. And crawling towards the light is it's reaching for that hope. And then we stand tall, so after we crawl, but we manage every day, which is a bit of a play on words. So we're managing our blood glucose every day, but we're also managing in terms of, we're managing everything else to do with our daily lives on top of living with type 1 diabetes. And then we stand tall in this fight. And it is a fight, it's like a fight every day, a fight against like, I can do this, I'm not gonna let it beat me down. The next 2 lines are break through the wall and reveal the other side, acceptance it calls, now together we fly. I do a lot of sport, and obviously, if you're running a marathon, that's the typical example, people can hit the wall. But I guess living with an autoimmune condition such as type 1 diabetes, you can definitely hit that wall constantly. It feels like sometimes you're really banging on that wall. Sometimes people hit something called burnout, and the daily sort of struggles living with type 1 diabetes can be a constant war. But again, we're trying to be like really impactful and positive and uplifting, so we're going to burst through that wall. And what's on the other side of that wall? Acceptance, is accepting our condition. And that's something that took me a good couple of years to get to. When I first got diagnosed, I went through anger, I went through frustration, I even went through diabetes burnout at a really early stage. And then finally I hit acceptance, and then together we fly. We've gone from falling to crawling to standing tall, and now we're flying high together. And the final 2 lines are, one type superheroes, we're saving our lives. We don't just survive, we rise up, we thrive. So we've just said we fly, and what do superheroes do? A lot of superheroes fly. But also there's a lovely phrase which I've always enjoyed hearing, because living with type 1 diabetes, you are a warrior, especially young children. They call them T1D warriors, but in this case, they are 1 type warriors because of our amazing band, 1 type. And then, we don't just survive, together we thrive. So together we rise up and thrive. And that's just about bringing the community together. I think community is the biggest and most important thing we can all have in our lives.
Below 4 is the floor. It's kind of saying how it's the main rule. Literally every type 1 I know said it, because it's just catchy, and it's just saying that if you're below 4, that means, it's the floor, you've got to watch out.
You have no doubts, you'll figure it out. You don't have to have any doubts. If you can like overcome it. You have to say, right, I've got it, I've got to manage it, I've got to take my insulin, and I don't care. I'll figure all of it out.
And everything will be okay.
Yeah, it will be okay. Sometimes it actually does make me feel mad.
It does.
Because
It's very stressful.
yeah, it just gets on my nerves sometimes.
But when I dance, I feel so free. So finding a way to like express yourself kind of helps you escape knowing the deepness of type 1.
Be who I want to be. We can still be who we want to be, even if we do have this disease. We can still express ourselves in the best way possible. We can explain it to people, but we can still have so much fun while doing it.
Like, it doesn't stop us from
It
being
doesn't
who we
stop
are.
Hi, I'm Ella.
Hi, I'm Liv.
Hey, I'm Ladybell.
And hey, I'm Finley, and we're 1 type.
Thanks for listening to us.
And go listen to our song Rise Up on Spotify.
Boom.